Well, Leighton, sometimes in sports, you just can't control your reaction.
Yep.
Sometimes you leap for joy, sometimes you cry, sometimes you're left utterly speechless. And this morning, the women's 400 meter left me shaken. Honest with you. When Sydney crossed the line at a time of 47.78, Paulina clocking a sub 48 as well, NASA running a very low 48 seconds. I'm telling you, I cannot process this one. I don't really understand what I just witnessed. And never in my life I would believe that two women in the same race would go under 48 seconds. And the beauty of all of this is that these are athletes who respect the integrity of the sport.
Yep.
Your take.
I'm still speechless. I'm still trying to find a way to characterize what I saw today because you remember the world record has stood since and is still standing for 40 years now, 47.60. And you and I have had the discussion. I don't think anybody would have gotten close to it because I thought if Sydney broke 48 seconds, it would be more like 40, 47.9. The time that Paulina ran, that's where I think it probably would have been.
Right.
But mercy father, man, 47.78. I mean, I sat in the studio watching the race and trying to come up with words for when I went back on here to characterize it. And I'm like, okay, I'm blank. Okay, because it's crazy. Listen, Sidney McLaughlin to me is the greatest athlete, male or female, if not of all time, certainly of this generation. 11.2 in the 100, 12.65 in the 110 hurdles, 22.0 for the 200, 47.78 for the 400, and 50.3 for the 400 meter hurdles. Who has that range? Think of another athlete who has that range. Nobody.
No.
I think I go way back to some of the athletes that used to run on Cinder. I can't. I mean, you hear me mention Fanny Blancas Cohen.
Yeah.
I can't come up with an athlete who's been able to accomplish these standards. Look, 11.2 is people argue 11.2 is not that fast, but the fact is, I think she's better than 11.2 because she's run 22.0. You know, so she has done things that defy any model that we've seen for any athlete prior to now. You know, she's good at 5 events easily. You know, because we've seen in the championship women running 11.2 in the hundreds. So she would be there in terms of the conversation for, okay, let's try and get to a final or get to a semifinal. She would be in that conversation. In the 200, she'd definitely be in the final. In the 400, she's the world champion. And in the 400 meter hurdle, she's a world record holder. So she is elite at every single level across 5 events. And I'm sure if she tried something else, I swear to God, if she tried the 800, she'd probably run 154.
I mean, you just took that out of my. That's the same thing I was going to say, because when you look at her body type, she could definitely run an 800 meters.
And she looks effortless, but it was still, the race itself it's probably the race. Look, a lot of times we talk about matchups and we talk about clashes and we talk about rivalries. But more often than not, they don't live up to expectation. This one did in a big way. Because Paulina is now the 3rd fastest one of all time.
Right.
Well,
second.
It's not my 3rd. Remember, the world record still stands there. So 47.
Oh, yeah. What am I saying?
Yeah. Sydney 47.78 and she 47.98. Crutchfield over.
Yeah, Jarmila Crutchfield over.
She had 47.99.
47.99.
Yeah. So, you're looking at a situation where 2 of these women now have moved into a pantheon of 3 who have gone into the era of sub 4 in sub 48. We spoke to Salva today and she said she was disappointed because she was aiming for a PB. She ran 48.19, which is just 0.05 off her 48.14 from 2019. So you're looking at these 3 women who have now pulled this event into a different web. Look, every single woman in this race was under 50 seconds.
Yeah.
every single woman in this race was under 15 seconds. I think they pulled Nikisha Price out of our race man that she suffered because of it. And but I thought some of the others ran really well, given what we've seen from them. And Amber Anning ran 47.4, I think.
Yeah,
Uh,
47:36.
yeah,
Bukovic
yeah, I can't pronounce her
49:27.
name, so I don't. I just
Yeah,
call her
yeah.
from
We just
Canterbury.
Kazmarek. Kazmarek.
Yeah,
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 just
that,
call her.
that works for me. But
Yeah.
yeah, so but all of those I think ran. But I think Nikisha got pulled out of her race model, and I think she paid the price for it because I think she's better than the 49.9 that she ran today. But that race that people talk about for generations.
Right.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think part of the storyline too is the respect that Sydney and by extension Bobby Kersey must have had for Paulina because they know
Hmm.
you don't come halfway. It's not a you have to prepare to go to boundaries because she
Hmm.
doesn't give anything away.
Yeah,
And running kind of blind today, maybe she was in a different lane. She could have navigated the race somewhat differently, and maybe would even get faster times. I'm not saying she would win, but
yeah.
it's it's
She probably would have
testament
been
to where
closer.
the sport has gone, right? And maybe I did a little Freudian slip saying she's the second fastest because sometimes I just eliminate
Yeah, well, that's
what's
how.
on the records for four
Yeah,
for 40 something years. But yeah, that's for another story. But yeah,
yeah, but it's crazy. It was to me, it's been the race of the championship so far. The
yeah.
men's event was good, but not anything quite like the women's race. It was crazy.
No, this is generation. This is boundary pushing. This is like watching Varham in
Yeah,
Tokyo, like watching, something similar to what you'd see from the likes of a Usain or so. I'm not saying it's the same thing. I don't want to go into that kind of thing, but we haven't seen this, and we must remember that Salwa said it too. I think no one thought that they could come close to it, and I think now they're thinking differently because those times for the sport to progress, I often thought we had to get rid of them. And it takes 40 something years for athletes that we have no question about the preparation and everything to come close to these times. And so I think part of that is sad for me, but I'm also happy because then it pushes the boundaries in some interesting
yeah,
ways.
what it does now, it brings into the conversation that Sidney McLaughlin actually, and maybe Paulina as well, can probably challenge that record in the next couple of years.
Yeah.
They're both at the right age now. They both know what it feels like to break 48 seconds. So now it's a new platform for them to propel forward and challenge at 47.60.
Yeah.
So yeah, because look, one of the things why people like me will question some of those records as well. I mean, we know about the East German
Yeah.
program from back in the 60s, 50s right up to the 1980s and 90s. Is that nowadays they have better running shoes, they have
Mm,
better running surfaces, they have better training equipment, they have better nutrition plans, better training programs.
yeah.
And it says it's taken women 40 years to even come close to the record. So this is what we're talking about in terms of the integrity of the event. But it's crazy what Sydney has done. And look, I will say this publicly. I picked her to come third primarily because I don't like picking from positions of where I lack information.
Exactly.
We've seen Sydney go 48.70. So we
Yeah.
know she could possibly go farther. We actually discussed it on one of the previous shows. But did I see her running 47.78 and beating Paulina and beating Nassau? In my mind, no. Because as good as she is, you're coming into an event for the first time, and these two women are that like they're slouches.
Right.
So because we did discuss the possibility of her winning, but when I sat down and thought about it, I'm saying, are we really thinking that Sidney McLaughlin, who's gone as fast as 48.70? Yeah, Bobby Kersey and she probably would not have attempted the event if they weren't sure that they could have done this. But I don't know whether or not what they felt and the actual execution of it were going to be on the same page. So yeah, so I picked her for third, but the top three were the top three that we all had.
Yeah,
But
I think that's the
it's
same
just,
way I did it too. I picked her for third because we did some shows on it too. I mean,
yeah,
but last night after the semifinal run, I went and in the prediction, I switched her to win after I saw
yeah,
the after she took down Sonny Richards' record. But
yeah,
that's that's after we get different information, right?
yeah.
Which
Mhm.
we can adjust there. Hi everyone. I know I haven't greeted anybody. So let me start with your channel there. I think Track Monkey says, Leighton, I told you since 2023, Sydney will break the world record. I see Dell over there. Camila is there. Rainford H there on my channel. I see Track Fans Global and Sherwood and Raymond and other people, Objectivity Kim. So thanks, guys. We'll try to get some of your comments at some point if we can. But as you know, Leighton is a busy man, and we just want to run through these things as quickly as possible. Yeah, it's one of the races that I still think I was shaking this morning as if you told me bad news. The way in which I went and I watched the race, and it wasn't a reaction that I had. You know, I've jumped up for performances. You know, you've seen it, you scream, you do all sort of stuff, but this one had me stunned, and my right leg was just like doing this, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, no one died, right? But it just kind of, it's the gravity of the moment, and sometimes that's how sports captivate you.
I know the feeling, but the thing is, my reaction was different. My mind was just blank because I couldn't cope. I couldn't cope without way to process it. so you know, because when you messaged me.
Yeah.
I mean, I was on here and I was like, remember, I said, I can't talk to you now. And then, and then I was like, what did we just see? What just happened? So, and I'm like, I'm searching for words. I'm searching for a characterization of what we just saw. And I'm still, up to this moment, how many hours later, I'm still trying to find a proper way to say, okay, what I will say, is, that was probably one of the greatest performances that we see in this current era. It ranks right up there with Bolt's world record in Berlin, in Beijing in 2008. Sorry, it ranks up there with Wade Van Niekerk's 4303 in terms of the impact, the shock impact of it. I think it'll probably go down as one of the greatest performances, notwithstanding the fact that she might eventually go on to break the world record. But now we know that it's within her reach. It won't be as stunning as before because she's done this today.
Yeah.
So.
No, it's important, and I think there's a lot of questions they have to answer in terms of, do they try to push the LA committee to do something to create a schedule for her? Does she try as a 2-4? Does she try to do 400 hurdles? I mean, she should be a little bit older too, so they have to be cautious about that. But we'll have time to unpack that. Yeah. Let's move on to the men's 400 meters. Botswana, 3 men in the final, 2 of them on the podium. You love to see that. It's this is an event that's largely dominated by the United States. Obviously, other people coming here, for them not to be on the podium too is interesting. Kibinet Chapi, didn't see it coming this season. I thought he was good, but looked like he had some niggles. Endori, to me, is the biggest surprise, getting on the podium. And then what I think is clearly redemption for Jareem Richards, the man from Trinidad and Tobago, national record 43.72, a guy you have a lot of time for. I mean, I need a word from McDonald, because I think, anyway, you take it away and we talk.
Well, let me start with Rasheen, because Rasheen admitted to us afterwards that he did not follow Stephen Francis's plan. Had he followed the plan, he may very well end up on the podium. So he's going to take a tongue lashing from Fernando, or probably already. So, but notwithstanding that, though, the performances in the 400 again was like in Paris last year, only not as fast. 44.2 came third and 44.2 came fourth. But I thought it was another epic performance, and it speaks to the growing depth of Botswana talent in terms of the 400, especially because when you consider that Tobago, for example, is a 2-4 runner, and he was not in the 400 meters, and Endori, why am I get tongue tied every time I say it? Say it for me.
Who is one? Kibinet Chapi?
Yeah, you go. Yeah.
I probably butcher it too, but
but
Busang. Yeah.
They were really good. They were really good. Look, you remember he ran 43.6 in the semis?
Yeah, he ran a PB in the semis, right?
Yeah,
was it a PB?
And comes back now with a very strong performance again. So it clearly tells you that he's at a different level now. To repeat that kind of performance within a day of each other in a tough event like that tells you that he's now, I mean, yes, he's world champion, but he's also now legitimately among the elite, because there are not that many men who have run 43, let alone 2 times. So yeah, but I thought it was a great race. The only disappointment I have to admit was that given the series that Rashid had, that he didn't end up on the podium. 44-38, 44-04,
Mm.
44-2 now, and just missing out on the podium. I was kind of hoping that he would have lived up to what he predicted of running 43 in the final, which would have put him on the podium. But it's his fault. He admitted it afterwards, said that basically he didn't follow his coach's instructions of how to run the race.
But as you
Because
have often said, the Rasheen McDonald you might get the one that Frano wants on today, and you get another one. And
yeah,
I guess we got the one that he didn't want.
yeah, because had he, I mean, when you look at what he did in the semifinals, you would have thought that, hey, he comes into the final with a clear idea of how to run this race. And
Yeah.
because had he run the 44-04, he's on the podium.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think he only has himself to blame. And I think his biggest regret was that this was perhaps his best opportunity to get on a podium, because he hasn't done so at this level. And
Yeah.
he missed a grand opportunity to be on the podium here. But look, there is no major championship until he's going to be 2 years old. He's already 31 or 32.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it might be
the
pushing past his ability,
Yeah. The
Hopefully
window
not,
is
but
closing. The window is closing on him. So he missed a grand opportunity today to end up on a podium and come away with a medal. But I mean, overall, when you look at the series, it's a strong series. Only that it was just short of the ultimate goal, which is on the podium.
yeah. Jeremy Ricketts.
Boss, what can you say? I spoke to him on September the 8th, and he said to me that he is in good shape. Everything is coming together. And I'm like, boss, I wish you the best, because we don't know what happened last year in Paris. And we haven't spoken since. I'm going to reach out to him at the end of the championships. But for him to end up with a silver medal, I mean, he didn't look particularly good in the semifinals, admittedly. But for him to come out now and deliver in a big way, another 43 run, 43-72, kudos to him. I think, he just added up a big day for Trinidad and Tobago, because Keyshawn won Javelin, he won the bronze medal. And, I'm so happy for him, because remember, he's world indoor champion.
Yeah.
He is in a world championship 4x4 champion from 2017.
Yeah.
And he had the fastest split on that relay. I think it was 43.6. I think it was on that
Something
relay
like
split.
that, yeah.
Yes, it was a 43 something. And missing out last year, and then coming now and ending up on the podium in what was a quality field. It might not have been as deep as last year in Paris, but it was still a quality field. And to end up on the podium, his legacy is set now. I think the pressure might be off now from him in Trinidad in terms of expectation of an outdoor individual medal at this level.
Right.
So I think he would have validated his credentials as being one of Trinidad's best 400-meter runners, if not the best 400-meter runner, because he's no faster than everybody else. Because I think, I'm not sure if this time is a national record, but
it is a national record, I think.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So he's a national record holder, equating to World Championship silver medal, World Indoor Champion, 4x4 relay gold medalist. I think his record speaks for itself.
No, it does. It does. And hi, everyone. Thanks again for joining. We'll try to get to some comments in a second. Thank you for liking both videos. Staying in Trinidad, we go down to Toco. If you've been to Trinidad, Toco is where Walcott is from. The running jokes used to be was pelting stone from there. But it's a very, Trinidad doesn't have beaches. My wife won't be upset if I say that. But they have a lot of rough waters. You got to go to Tobago for that. But Keyshawn Walcott, 2016, the last time this man is on a podium. Yeah. Surprise winner in London. And as he said in the interview, that the Trinidadian public was getting a bit restless with him, which is, I think, is a euphemism for they're fed up. But 88-16, finding a way to win again after such a long time. And not only that, Anderson Peters, because I went in and changed my thing and put Peters on the podium after I saw him. His first round performance, a qualification performance, and Curtis Thompson also, is kind of an amazing story because the US hasn't had a javelin medalist for such a long time. in a quality field, I included the likes of a Julian Weber, who
Yeah.
I thought would have won a
Yeah, he
number of
threw
times
91.
over.
He threw
Yeah,
91 just a few weeks ago.
yeah, number of times over 90 meters. Even 90-meter club this year for New York Chopper. So I thought those guys would be on the podium. Nadim, we weren't sure about because he hardly see him and he had kind of a medical thing. But what is it saying about the Caribbean guys figuring out a way to be on top of the podium in an event that obviously is not something that traditionally comes from the region, right? We've now made some steps there, but it's not a thing. Yeah.
But Trinidad has been strong with the javelin for a
Yeah.
while. I mean, even Tyrese Harford, who quit early
Yeah.
because of injuries, they've had some quality throws over the years. Keyshawn has been probably the most consistent. In fact, he's the most consistent. Remember now, people might have been getting frustrated with him, but I'm wondering why. He's an Olympic champion from 2012 when I think he was still a teenager at the time,
Yeah, I was a teenager, yeah.
right? He comes back in 2016 and he wins bronze. 2016 is almost 10 years ago. Still,
Yeah.
as we've seen, other than Thorkinson and maybe Zelesny and a couple other guys, the javelin is not an event where people come back and repeat that often.
Yeah.
You know, there have been people over the years who've thrown big, who've not been able to deliver on the biggest of stages when it matters most. Keaton has done that, and he comes back. I mean, he told me, as I was telling you before we went on the live, that he changed his coach and hired Dr. Klaus Bartoniez, a German biomechanic coach, and he told me this. We spoke earlier, maybe in the middle of the summer. He had just launched a clinic in Trinidad.
Yeah.
And I was talking to him about it, and I was asking him about his progress for the season. And he said he had a new coach. He was in Germany when I was talking to him. And the backstory to that is that Dr. Bartoniez was Chopper's coach, who retired in 2024. And somehow Keyshawn managed to convince him to come out of retirement and work with him. And it has paid off big time, because you're going to a championship with maybe not even being considered among the medals, given what we've seen, as you mentioned, from Viva and others, and Chopra, and Nadim
he wasn't so good, but
but for him to come and qualify for the finals, and then, cause I remember Anderson Peters, I think, had the best throw going into the final,
right,
and come through and win it. I mean, what can you say? The man continues to deliver. Now 13 years removed from the last time when he won his first medal.
Plus, he had some surgeries too on the arms.
Yeah,
so
he's had injuries and everything. So all of that plays a role in, for me, telling me that was nothing to be frustrated about with Keyshawn. Keyshawn has delivered and has consistently delivered. So, as I keep telling people, athletes are not machines. They break down. They have challenges like all of us, whether it's personal or physical or emotional, whatever it is. But they do have challenges, and he's managed to come through those challenges and end up on the top of the podium again. So big up to him. So good day for Trinidad, gold and silver.
Good day for Trinidad. Good day for the Caribbean again, and I guess Latin America. If we think about the women's triple jump, and let me transition to that because there's a couple of different storylines. Perez Hernandez, for fabulous season, wins it all again.
That's
backed up,
there.
world leading 1494. So it's evidence that her season worked the right way. Before I get to TLF1, Yulimar Rojas with the bronze medal. We hadn't seen her for a long time.
2 years.
Yeah.
2 whole years.
Achilles injury. It's not an easy thing to come back from. We've seen
surgery,
come back and can't get back.
Rehab, all of that. And it just tells you the quality athlete that she is.
Yeah. 1476.
Yeah, she's another alien thing again, because you're coming back from surgery, rehab, you haven't competed in 2 years, and your first tournament
is the championship,
and you're getting, so when she gets back into full rhythm next year, she's back to being dominant again. So I don't know if she's going to get back to the 1574 that she has as a world record, but certainly she looks right now that she's ready to go 15 again. Given if she competes, has a few more meets and gets back her strength and her mobility and all of that. Because her middle field doesn't look as good as
It
prior
doesn't.
to.
Yeah, it's not that exaggerated
Yeah,
step that she has isn't there
yeah,
either.
she
But
drags it. She drags
yeah,
it a little bit.
plus
So
she's not as lean as before too.
mm,
But that's like nitpicking at somebody who's just basically on
yeah,
rehab and like, let me go jump at the world
yeah,
championship. No
yeah,
competition. It's wild,
yeah,
you know. But Tia
yeah.
Lafon, I want to say a word on her because I often talk about her as clutch
Mm-hmm,
because there's some steely thing in that Dominican water, wherever she gets it from.
mm-hmm.
She breaks the form, whatever it's on the face, and she finds a way to jump her season best 1489. The Olympic champion comes back, gets a silver medal. Also had injury this year. The first time we saw her was at the World Indoor after having surgery. You have to like it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's exactly my thoughts. Look, I followed the Olympics last year where she won gold with that torn ligament in her
Yeah.
knee. That in itself tells you just kind of that kind of athlete that she is. She does surgery in the off season, is in a brace for about 4 months.
Yeah.
In fact, probably a little bit longer than that because she came out of the brace just before World Indoors. She goes there, she does well, not well enough, but she
Yeah.
does well. And then she has basically a short background season because you can't do background with a brace on your knee, because it was one of them big braces that started her mid thigh and go right down to her almost down mid to her mid of her lower leg. So for her, what this is the signs were there now because the last meet before was the Diamond League final, I think,
Yeah.
where she finally put it together and she jumped 1462, I think it was.
Yeah.
And I was like, yep, she's coming back. And seeing her kind of struggling early in the rounds, I knew she had something to pull out because that's what she does.
Yeah.
Last jump, she said, this is it. And she goes for it. And more often than not, she nails it. And 1489,
It's a
not
big
so I
jump.
wasn't really,
Yeah.
yeah, not really surprised. And I'm sure if she had another month and a half to prepare, she probably would have come out and won it.
All right.
So kudos to her. Dominica, another silver medal. She's going to Dominica to have some kind of clinic now. She's on their
Yeah.
ads, and their tourism ads now, and she's an ambassador and all kind of
Oh
things.
yeah, you gotta
Very
love it,
happy,
you know.
very happy for her. Love her and her husband.
Yeah.
They're a fantastic couple, husband and coach thing, and it works well for both of them.
Yeah. Vincent is giving us the invitation. We take it at some point. But yeah, no, you have to like it. I think, and then she's not, when you look at her body type and her size in comparison to a Perez Hernandez or a Tia Lafon or a Shanika, she's not at that level in terms
She's
of that
tiny.
physical. Yeah, she's not.
She
You're like, what are you doing jumping 15 meters? You
she
know,
came
so
to a meet. I'm trying to remember it was a Jamaica Invitational a couple of years ago,
yeah,
and I'd interviewed her a number of times, but we never actually met.
right.
And she gave me a big hug, and she was literally hanging in the air while she was hugging me around my neck. So she's tiny, really sweet girl, though, very pleasant,
Right.
really, really nice. It's not often I said this, and I said this without any reservation. It is not often that you come across an athlete who is genuinely sweet, because a lot of them walk around with chips on their shoulders and
Right.
all kind of different issues. But she's genuinely a nice person. I like her a lot. I think her husband is really cool as well.
Yeah.
So they're really great and they're really gracious people. So I'm really happy for her. Really happy
Yeah,
for
I'm
her.
happy that if she's a very nice woman. You see it, but also a couple words. I mean, Povea Gear, I thought she could have gotten on the podium given her season, but it didn't
Mhm.
happen. And Ricketts just could. There's a couple jumps there. Like there was that one jump where Shaniki had a foul where I thought if she had landed on, if that were just by the finest of margins, perhaps that would have been closer. I don't know. It's hard to judge without the actual
Yeah,
measurement,
I,
but
I I had my reservations about Shanika
mm,
before, because she had a couple of 14.6 jumps early in the season.
mm,
And I remember when I spoke to Kerry Lee at trials, he said that she was exactly where he wanted her to be.
mm,
But following the national championships, her performances weren't all that great. She had some 14.2s and some 14.3s and some 14.4s. In her last three meets before the championships was 14.30 and below.
right.
So I wasn't, and in the first round, was 14th, was it 14:31? 14:30. She wasn't even at the automatic qualifying standard. So I had a concern about whether or not she was going to be able to come into the final and then jump something big. Because if it's not happening for such a long time,
Right.
to me it was unlikely that she would be able to come and deliver something significant.
Mm.
So I mean I know she's disappointed, but here's the thing: when you in the last 5 years, she's won two silver medals at the World Championships and one
Olympic
Olympic silver medal.
silver.
She's not getting any younger.
She's 33 now, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's getting older, so her body breaks down. Or it's probably broken down. And she probably just needs a break
Mm.
because she's been at this very high level for 5 years, and it's not like she's 22 or 23. She is
Right.
33 years old. So I think that's probably just caught up with her this year. Maybe she'll be back next year.
Yeah,
Um,
maybe next year take it off and then try another World Championships and then see what happens. If
yeah,
if she has the desire to continue,
yeah,
but she's been a great servant for
yeah,
for for the country, and she's always on the circuit. You see her at every meet, the big meet, so she's well established, and wish her well. It doesn't
yeah.
always happen. Yeah.
She'll bounce back. Shamika has. I've always felt like she has that ability to get past disappointments
Right.
and rebound very quickly. So I'm looking forward to seeing her next season. Maybe
All right.
given that the last next season is not a big season for field event athletes because other than the Ultimate Championships, it's a down year.
Yeah.
So she
So
can take some time and recharge her batteries and come back strong
right. Do
for
a few diamond leagues and
yeah,
see what happens. Yeah.
and then come back strong for Beijing in 2027.
All right. All right, we'll get back to it. Let's talk a little sprint. I don't think Let me see. There are some comments here. There's just mostly people just talking about Sydney on your channel and maybe some inside conversation. So if you guys have comments or questions, continue to put them, and we try our best. Women's 200-meter semifinal. Let's do that first before we get to the men.
Yeah.
A lot of people want to unpack that. Shurica Jackson. I just want to start with Shurica Jackson because the buck stops with the defending champion for me. We want to see where she is. You and I spoke and we said if we had gotten a sub 22 prior to the championships, we would have a better feeling in terms of where we could see her on a medal podium. I think silver and bronze are up for grabs, assuming Melissa Jefferson will find the requisite strength and speed to just dominate. So your thoughts on Shurica and maybe overall just the semifinal runs here from all these women. Yeah.
I thought Shurica looked really good. 21.99, and she was well within herself.
Yeah.
I think she looks like she's probably ready to go 21.8. I think when you look at how she controlled that race and she held off a strong pack, including Brittany Brown
and Amy Hunt, yeah.
And Amy Hunt. I mean, you're looking at Shurica Jackson that is close to being close to what she was 2 seasons ago. So I'm looking at her as right now one of a stronger medal favorite than before. The lady I'm concerned most about though is Anavia Battle. She looked really good today, really controlled, 22-0 and looking really strong. I mean, Melissa Jefferson I think is going to win the season. But I think what we're seeing here is that, as we said before, there are about 4 or 5 women going into that final who are going to be in a similar range. From 21.99 to 22.1 or 22.2.
Yeah.
But on the evidence of what we saw today, I think Shurica is a strong candidate for the silver medal, and I think Battle probably finishes third. Or if she's able to repeat, or Amy Hunt looks really good. Dina looks bad either, and also the Talu.
Talu looked good,
Yeah. So I think there's going to be a strong battle for that bronze medal if Anavia Battle doesn't come out ready to run fast again. But she looks confident. She's been running well all year. Remember, she ran undefeated for about
for the first half of the season.
Season. So it's going to be keen, but I think the way I see the race playing out based on what I saw today, I see Melissa Jefferson coming off the curve first, and pulling away from the field. I see Shurica coming off the curve second and holding off the rest of the field. I think they're going to be, if I can call it, 3 races.
Yeah.
Melissa, Shurica, and then the pack. I'm going to be bashing to see who finishes third. But I think if Shurica runs according to how we know she can, given how good she looked today, I think she gets a silver medal quite easily.
Yeah, you hope so too, because I think it would also be a big relief for her in the sense that the injuries and she was going on gave us 2 unbelievable seasons over 200 meters that in many ways was approaching the world record had it not been for better conditions. If she had better conditions, I think she would have probably.
If she had better wind in Hungary, she would have. I think she would have broken the world record or equal the world record.
Or very close. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 21.4s a couple of times. It's those are unreal boundaries, right? And so I wish her well. Anthony Strawn looked hurt after she crossed the line.
Yeah, she had a hamstring.
Updates on that? Huh?
She's out. She technically she's qualified for the final.
Yeah.
But I don't think she's gonna run because she tweaked her hamstring. It was clear. You saw that when she was coming down. And then
she was literally in tears, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And Shurica was trying to help her stretch. Took off her spikes and tried to help her stretch. So I'm thinking that they probably would have notified the authorities already that look.
Right. And then I guess Mackenzie Long. Look at Mackenzie Long, who we thought would have been a shoo-in to get to this championship. Gets, does the circuitous route, courtesy of Brittany Brown, courtesy of also Gabby Thomas pulling out.
Yeah.
And she's there and she finds her way into the final. So running in lane 2. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I guess Tyreek Taylor is asking why you can't see Jacko winning.
Why I can't see Jacko winning?
Yeah.
Let me just give you 3 initials. MJW. That's why I can't see Jacko winning.
Yeah.
I don't know why people underestimate what Melissa Jefferson Wooden is doing. You realize if she had a better wind in the 100-meter final, she would have run 10.5.
Yeah.
That speed is faster than Shurica has ever run. Right? In fact, the time that she ran to win the final, 10.61, is faster than Shurica has ever run. She is fast. She's run 21.84 long before the World Championships. I'm thinking that she's going to run something close to 21.5, if not faster. So, do I see Jacko running 21.4 or 21.5 again? No, not this year. Maybe next year, maybe 2027, but not this year. So that's why I can't see Jacko winning.
All right. Jordan Walk on your channel says she disagrees. She thinks Shurica will come off the curve first and Melissa will have to catch her. But
ask her what she have to lose. I have some money. You have some money we can put on that. If Melissa comes off the curve first, you buy me lunch. And if Shurica comes off the curve first,
and I guess you must know Jordan for her to buy your lunch. I guess.
No, she can always send me an email address and we can link up and we can buy her lunch.
His email is on his channel.
Yeah, lunch on me because that's not happening.
Yeah.
Melissa,
I think it's gonna be a Melissa win too. I'd be shocked. Look, we know what Shurica Jackson is capable of. It's not that we're downplaying it. We just haven't seen it. She's coming back from injury until. Yeah. If she had run a 21.7 coming into the championships or a 21.6, then we'd be like, okay, normal services resume, right? But it's not there yet, right? I'm happy that she went sub 22 rather. Yeah.
What we've seen so far is championships. Melissa Jefferson wins 110.61. Shurica was 4th in 10.88. That's almost 0.3 of a second difference between both of them. She's that much faster this year. And even 10.65 Shurica is still slower than Melissa Jefferson. Right. So Melissa Jefferson has to come off of the curve first because that's why you run the 200. You hit the curve hard and you swing into the straight and you hold on. And I don't see where Shurica is able to do that this year. Not this year. If this was 2023, sure. If this was 2022, sure. 2025, not so much.
Yeah, even 21 when because I thought she was in great shape in 1 when she made a mistake in Tokyo. Even that would have, but not this year. We'll see. Okay, let's go to the men. I think some mind games are going on. in a way that one man is playing mind games to the detriment of himself. Jodian says, "Deal, she'll buy you lunch." So here's the thing. We all the big guys are there. Kung Fu Kenny, Let's Sealy, Noah Lyles, Brian Level. Level comes back and runs another comfortable performance. You asked me before the live, do you think he can go 19.5? I hope so. I think he can. I
Yeah.
don't know because it's uncharted territory, but if you run 19.6 and if you assume that the preparation from Coach Osborne, which has been flawless up to this point, she's probably getting in. You look at the 9.8, he's quick. I hope he can. Noah Lyles in post-race interview says, he probably shouldn't have run that fast.
19.
But
Yeah.
he's level in his head.
I think so. And I think the reason why he ran that 19.5 is because of how easily Level ran that 1984 in the first round and the 1978 in the semifinals. Because look, when he said to us that he stopped running on top of at the top of the straight in the first round for 1984, you saw it. I mean, you could see that he stopped trying. In the semifinal, he admittedly as well, and you saw that he ran to about 140, 150 and then shut it down because he had Tebugo covered and he shut it down. He actually almost came to a walk again and ran 19.78. I think those two races got into Noah Lyle's head and he said, listen, I need to get back the psychological advantage. And so I'm going to hit the pedal and do something special. And that's what he did. Now, I was talking to a couple of coaches today and a couple of people who know the sport. And they said they think he can come back and come back even faster. I don't doubt that. This is Noah Lyles we're talking about.
Lyles, right, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But as I said, Shaniki has prepared this kid incredibly well. And he has his head screwed onto his shoulder. When we asked him today about, what are his chances on the podium, he said he's not overlooking Tobago, he's not overlooking Kenny, he's not overlooking Noah Lyles. He believes he can be on the podium, but he believes it's going to be tough to get onto the podium. But he said it with a quiet confidence that suggests that he feels, because he said also that even though he ran 1978 today, he says he still has, he didn't say he has something left in the tank. He says he has a lot left in the tank, which means that he knows he can go a lot faster. What does that a lot mean? Does it mean 19.5? Does it mean another 19.6? Does it mean 19.4? Based on what I saw in the preliminary round, he can go 19.4 because if you're shutting down 80 meters out and running 19.8, that's about almost half a second in terms of time lost. The thing about it is that having 2 rounds in his legs, can he go that fast with those 2 rounds in his legs?
Yeah.
So we know Noah has done it. We know Let's Sealy has done it. We know Kenya has done it. He has not done it yet.
Right.
So that's an unknown factor. But if we should extrapolate from the first 2 rounds, I think he has a good shot of being the silver medalist at least.
Yeah, I think so too. I think I went in and I'm changed my predictions on the World Athletics predictions, and he's on the podium for me. Trap Money on your channel says Noah ran 1951 because he was panicking at the back after seeing that
yeah, for real.
Yeah, Jared over here is saying I have to give Jared his props. He did say Sydney. He's been calling Sydney running 47.8 all season. So I got to put him on screen. Now he's going a little bit crazy now, saying Noah's going to run 19.12.
All right, cool.
And that's not happening. But Lamarda says Noah was also the only one with a decent tailwind. Yeah, but he ran hard and he didn't give up. He didn't stop. And it's you question those things. I know he has the ability, he has the capacity to come back, but he ran hard to get his bronze medal in the 100 meters. It's not an ordinary season for Lyles in the sense that he had its curtail in different moments with injury. So I feel like if Lance was to be honest with us, if you had him in a corner and he gave you the right information, he would say I would prefer him not to run 19.5 in a semifinal over 200 meters. Yeah.
Because one of the things is that I honestly think that Level is faster than everybody in that field. over the
Mm,
flat 100.
mm.
I think level right now is as fast as oblique in the 100.
Yeah, that's saying something. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
and I think because of that, I think if he goes full tilt, he comes off of that curve first with some advantage as well,
Yeah.
and then it's about because I think he's going to probably push it right to 150 and then hold on.
Yeah.
Who's going to catch him? I don't think all three guys catch him if that's the case.
Yeah.
Um, which is one of the reasons why I think Noah is kind of a little bit nervous about it
Mm.
because Noah knows that he's fast. Noah has seen his speed, and we
Right.
saw how easily he covered Goat. He got far
Yeah.
past him in the first two steps. And while people might scoff at the little kid, for after he's stepping up to the into the big leagues, he's still a quick.
Oh,
Right.
yeah. Yeah. I saw there was a distasteful tweet from a magazine that I didn't like how they did go.
Yeah.
The guy is a kid. He for him to be here is amazing, right? It's the same with Cooper. It's the same with anybody. When Sydney went to didn't Sydney went to the Olympics at 16, right? Was it
Yeah,
or
Shannon
21?
53,
Yeah.
53,
So
6 or something like that.
right, you might be looking at someone that will be coming back in years to come to dominate, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we should. Yeah, I don't even want to bring that up. I think what the kid did was fabulous to even
Yeah.
be
To
amongst
get to
this.
the semi.
Yeah, to get to the semi. He's never been to a major championship.
Yeah.
Even the athletes here at this championships are complaining about the distance between the warm-up track and the jump
Mm.
and the national stadium. So they have to be adjusting. This is a kid, he doesn't understand. He's probably just looking around the Tokyo lights and wondering what the hell is going on, and
Yeah.
everybody that he's seen on TV is right beside him. So it's different.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think he's a talent. But
Yeah.
the ease at which, in fact, even in the semis, the
Yeah.
ease at which he's separated from Let's See
Yeah.
tells you because Let's See only closed the gap on him when he started to slow down that to 140,
Right.
145 in that region. And that's the only time Let's See closed on him. And he was shutting down, you know.
Yeah.
So if
I'm
he can hold on after 150, I don't think all three guys catch him. I think maybe one, maybe two, but not everybody. I think I based on what I've seen so far, I can clearly visualize him being on the podium.
yeah. Same.
Yeah,
My issue with Let's See, and this is I'm glad you brought it back up. He's a very hard athlete to read in the sense of
yeah,
he'll give you a nonchalant run and then he'll come and run 19.4. And
yeah.
so he's had a championship that I'm sure he's not happy with.
Mm.
Paul starting out of the 100 meters
100.
is something that no athlete wants to do. And he's just running like it's ordinary right now. So is he playing around? Is it mind games? I don't know. But it doesn't look like the superb Let's See that we're used to. We know he had some injuries earlier this season too. It was at Doha, I think Diamond
Yeah,
League, or the Marrakesh or Morocco. He had to pull out of that. So I'm not sure where he really is, and he's been
it's
beaten by
hard.
Noah a couple
Yeah,
times over 200 on the circuit. Yeah. So he
what
could
we
be
doing?
vulnerable. Kenny has a chip. Yeah, but if he gets his head right, then he should be there. But you never know. They're
Yeah,
not.
look,
Only Noah is an athlete that is always in game mode,
yeah,
right?
man.
Yeah,
No,
the
it's a
rest.
mentality beast.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
but Kenny, I think Kenny is vulnerable mentally. But let's see, you're right. You're right. Let's see, they can play possum. We've
yeah.
seen him do it already, and he comes back and storms to something incredible.
Right.
So it's going to be a very interesting final. I think it's probably could be one of the races at the competition so far as well, because I think there's a potential for all four guys that we've been talking about to go on the 19.6,
Yeah.
and some of
No,
them
for
might
sure. I
not
think
on the
so, and it's good for the
yeah,
sport. Jason
yeah.
says Leighton, if Levin is leading after 150, no one is beating him.
Well, that
Yeah,
could be. I mean, you could be right,
yeah,
Jason. The reality is that what we do know is that Noah closes strong, and that's his strength. He
yeah,
closes strong all the time. I mean, even last year when he had COVID, he was still closing on the field, even though he ran 1970. The
yeah.
fact is that with COVID, he was still pushing towards the line, catching Kenny at the line. I mean, close to the line. So now that he's healthy, I mean, he's not had the best season, yes, because he's had his challenges with the ankle injury early in the season that had
Right.
him sit out for a while. So
Yeah.
he's not as his optimal preparation, but
Yeah.
he just ran 1951 today. I mean, so
Yeah, for
you know,
sure.
so
Dynamics is saying good evening to us. Good evening to you. Vincent says he's proud of Richard and his silver medal in lane two. And as Leighton did say, yeah,
yeah,
I guess you got to get your props, because when we get them wrong, they are on
yeah,
us
but yeah, man.
like like white and rice.
There's a girl on my page that's her name is Charmaine, I think.
Yeah.
Was literally slated me to say I'm getting most of them wrong. But hey, look, one of the
But they
things
only
about these
remember when you get it wrong,
gets wrong, yeah. When you look at these championships, there are many events
Yeah.
that the people who the consensus was that they were going to be on the podium, they never showed up.
Yeah.
I mean, Matthew Hudson Smith. I mean, in the 400, for example, who saw Botswana with 2 medals on the
Yeah.
podium? Two
And
people on the
3 men
podium,
in the final.
and 3 men in the final. Nobody
Mm.
saw that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's we're picking. We're human. We're just we might study the sport, but
Yeah. But
we're just
the
picking.
athletes have to perform, right? And
Yeah,
sport is full of surprises. If we did a championship and we predicted every single thing correctly,
yeah.
it would be slightly boring. It would be
Yeah.
boring. So I
But
think
that's what makes
there's a
it
couple of people
exciting.
on your channel too. Jordan is saying my money's on Brian. Chemist says probably a person that doesn't even know the sport that wrote the article. I think that's in reference uh to I think the gout thing.
Yeah,
Yeah. Sonia says the advantage, however, is that Level has fresher legs. I'm expecting him on the podium. Right. Yeah.
that's a good point because
Yeah.
all other 3 men except for let's see who didn't run the final,
Mm,
they have now 4 or 5 races in their legs.
mm,
Does that become a factor to an athlete who's only had 2 races in his legs? And he's
yeah.
younger than all of them because he's 21 years old. So
Yeah.
that could be a factor as well. It's a good point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Sherwood says
said
Leighton.
Simon is
Simon is
convinced that I hate
convinced.
to win. So there's that.
Okay, that's different baggage there.
Yeah,
Dynamic
boy.
says TNT sent 4 athletes, 2 of them came back with medals.
So yeah, so kudos to
Yeah,
that.
they have to like that.
Yeah, you
I
have to know
feel,
that.
I
And
feel
Leah ran well. I mean, Leah has
right.
that look. If you look at all of the NCAA athletes, most
Yeah,
of them are fading out now because
yeah,
it's been a long season for them. So, but Leah Bertrand, I think, is a talent that's coming through for Trinidad and Tobago. And if she can stay healthy for the next couple of years, I think she'll be among women who are contending for medals by the time they got to LA 2028. She
yeah,
just graduated from University of Ohio, and I'm thinking she's going to go pro. So if
yeah,
she finds the right coach, good things could happen. I think
yeah,
she's probably going to Florida and go to Lance Browman and see what he does because I
yeah,
think it's really going to be. I think she's talented. I watch her run, and yeah, she has some flaws in her. Her start isn't great. Her acceleration can use a lot more work, and her closing needs some work as well. But all of these phases can be improved over the next couple of years. So
yeah.
yeah. So,
No,
but good job for Trinidad and Tobago.
no, good job. I mean, and like Jamaica, Trinidad's a proud nation. I'm sure somebody's playing the great David Michael Rudder, something like Trinity to the Bone or something like that. But
Yeah.
I know a lot of Trinidad stuff. I feel like the Trinidadians should give me a passport if I need it. But but yeah,
Yeah.
it's one of those things.
Yeah, sorry, Jason, my bad. Or Ohio State University.
Oh
I said University
yeah.
of Ohio.
The
Yeah, my
Buckeyes,
bad.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, man. But I think Leah is a good talent, and I think she had a lot of potential. I think she had the potential to be better than Baptiste and Lee Aye. That's what I think.
Yeah. No, I think so too. I think she's very talented, and they have talented athletes that come up from time to time. The twins. You hope that that they transition. So yeah.
Who are you guys more confident will win among the Americans? Lyles or Melissa Jefferson? I'm
Yeah.
obviously more confident about her. I mean, she has two things. One, she has a weaker field to go up against, especially since Julian is not there. And
Right.
Noah has a tougher field. It's clear. Let's see the Brian Kenny.
Yeah.
Ogando. It's not. Noah's
Yeah.
200-meter final is a tough final, regardless.
Yeah. Makarari ran well today to make sure he got into that final too. So
Yeah, boy.
yeah.
Yeah. But Melissa, in terms of form, Melissa Jefferson is the class of the field this year.
Yeah.
I everybody knows I picked Julian to win the double. That didn't happen because primarily because of injury. I think because look, based on the time that Melissa ran in the 100-meter finals, maybe should have won that final. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
leaning towards that because even though Julian was in good shape, um, you have to think that the consistency that she's shown all year
Mm.
would have probably got her ahead of Julian. And for the 200, the ease at which she's running now and the confidence that she has. I mean, Jesus, man.
Mm.
I think it's funny enough. We did an interview with her at Grand Slam track in Kingston, and she said something that is proving to be almost prophetic now.
Mm.
She says by the time she ends her career, she wants to be known as one of the best of all time, if not the best of all time. And based on
Mm.
what we see this season, she's well on her way.
She's working our way on that, yeah.
Yeah. So
Olympic podium already, some relay
yeah,
medals this year, individual medals coming in terms of in gold medals rather,
yeah,
and yeah,
So let's see
yeah,
what she does because, I mean, many people thought that Shakira was going to be that girl 4 years ago.
yeah,
She won world championships in 2023,
right.
and but
Should have
she
been in
had
Tokyo if it wasn't
yeah,
for the
yeah,
whole
yeah,
fiasco.
but
I think her challenge is much more, off the track than on the track.
yeah. Mm.
Yeah, and we leave it at that for to ensure we don't get into this whole debate.
Any
Baking with
trouble.
Lion says Melissa said in her interview that she's feeling it in her legs. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. I mean, I wouldn't put it. I mean, it makes sense. It's she's been
Yeah,
running
look,
fast all season. Yeah,
yeah, running fast all season, and then of course, winning in a brand new personal best. As I've said repeatedly, when you run these big personal bests, your body rebels against you because you're taking
mm,
it in territory that it's not used to. So you will feel the strain of it. And but I think one more race, she grits her teeth, goes out there tomorrow, and just say, okay, one more individual race, and I take a break, get a few
yeah,
days off, while somebody just qualifies for the 4x1 and then I come in for the final. I'm hearing that you're thinking about starting her for the 4x1. Yeah, it's gonna be
in
interesting.
the heats or in on
But
you mean or
in the final,
in the final? I put her
yeah,
on the start. Okay.
yeah. Well, to put on the start, it's going to be hard for anybody to beat the US. But what
Yeah,
I would do, if that's the case, I would probably start Tina Clayton with her.
yeah,
So the advantage wouldn't be that great because I
yeah.
hear Tina Clayton is running really well. So,
Look,
and Tina looks good, 10.76. Shelly and Shurica are probably going to be the two weaker legs, I think,
yeah.
based on form. But if we
The
can
only issue with that
control,
though, Leighton, is that they want to make sure that they're clean with the passes because
yeah,
if anybody can make up for a slight error or minimal error in the relay, she certainly can. So
yeah. But they've been practicing, so
yeah,
we can hope that the practices go well for both male and female. Actually,
yeah.
especially since Level is not running the four by
Oh, I
one.
meant for the context of the U.S. in the sense if you start Melissa there and they make some,
Yeah, man.
they don't have the the athletes that I feel comfortable to run down people if it's needed right
But
now.
let me get a lead, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
probably.
yeah. So maybe that. Yeah, we'll see. There's always politics in in USA,
Always,
4x1 or relays. Yeah.
yeah, and not just but USA too. Jamaica does have a history of the politics as
Oh,
well.
that yeah. We don't want to start that.
That's
Yeah,
par for the course.
yeah. I Since someone asked about the relay, since we're on it, and I know we should touch on some a few more things before you leave. The the notion that it's still open for Brian to be in the relay. You think he'll be involved, or you just think it's
No,
not going to happen?
the
Yeah.
information that we are getting right now
Mm,
is that the coaching staff have reached out to him,
mm-hmm,
and he and his management say no way,
mm,
you're not doing it.
okay.
Um, you see, and it's one of the reasons why I keep going back to all of this dynamic about how we treat our athletes with this general lack of respect sometimes.
Mm,
And while people will argue that, yeah, you're not doing it for the J3s, you're not doing it for the coaches, you're doing it for your country. when you are when you treat the athletes like they are less than, when they are your assets, they are your
mm,
best assets, then you have these circumstances where the athletes feel underappreciated or disrespected, whether or not it's legitimate or not in terms of what they feel, they are going to take action. It's not like 20, 30 years ago where people their loyalty outweighed everything else. These
Right.
kids don't think that loyalty is all that important to them anymore because they can go and get their shoe sponsors, they can go and get their Diamond League meets and make their money. They don't need the J3s. And of course, with countries like Turkey, the Turkey, then they know they have opportunities to go there and probably make a killing elsewhere in another country where they are more respected, they're more appreciated than they are in Jamaica. And if the
Right.
athlete feels slighted, then to me the olive branch should have been extended a lot earlier.
Mm.
Not just no. You go and sit down with them and say, listen, we understand that this is a circumstance. Um, we apologize. We think that errors were made. We believe that you are an asset to this country, and we need you for the 4x1, and something along those lines. And eventually, I think maybe you sway his mind. You sit down with him in management, and you express contrition, you express
Right.
the idea that whatever happened before, you will ensure that it doesn't happen again, and that we will make a greater effort to ensure that you feel respected and wanted and needed. And because sometimes you have to soothe an ego,
Mm.
you know, you have to soothe an ego because, as I
It's like
said,
man management, you
yeah,
need
it's
something
man
like that. Yeah.
management. So if you are, if but if you're holding on to a position where the athlete feel like you don't care, why should they care? And that's
Yeah.
what I think it boils down to for him, for his case, and Ashanti
Yeah.
more too.
Yeah.
So
No, I think, yeah, they have to sort that out. I mean, you mentioned athletes running off. You think about Nigeria, they're being
yeah,
shambolic too in terms of their treatment. You
yeah,
saw Samuel Oghazi there complaining that he had an injury and he felt like they forced him to run.
yeah.
Toby Amazon talking about the gear. Like,
Mm,
you cannot go to major championships and have these athletes, and then you see what happened to Favor last year, and now she's
yeah,
gone. And
yeah.
it- it's it's unbelievable that we're in situations like that. And Jamaica in particular shouldn't be doing this because they're elite when it comes to
Yeah,
the track and field. But sometimes you need
that's,
that professionalization beyond, because I've
yeah,
often said, like, look, you have an organization that is largely volunteer. Okay, you can have a board like that, but you need to have a CEO that's always being paid the right way, all the
mm,
different big teams, the best
mm,
people who can secure better contracts for,
mm,
to capitalize on all the media and marketing and
mm.
everything you need. It's not a friend situation, it's
No,
business.
it's not. It's business, and we should treat it as such. I
Yeah.
see Chris Sicaros asking which four men will run for Jamaica in the 4x1 final. Um, for the final, if we get there, I think it's Akeem Blake, probably Ryan Ford, or Kidron Golson, Oblique Seville, and Kishian Thompson. I'm not sure which four they're going to select for the preliminary round,
Mm.
but if they get to the final, it's most likely Akeem Blake. I've probably Ryan Ford, Oblique Seville, and Kishian Thompson. That's the four that I
Yeah.
see.
Yeah. Cool. Well, we've come up on an hour late now. You gotta get up early tomorrow. So
Yeah,
uh I don't know if you have any shock surprises for tomorrow. Yeah, but I think you've talked about it. We have
yeah,
finals for the men's 400-meter hurdles
yeah.
and women's 400-meter hurdles.
I
I
get a
don't
feeling
know.
that Ray Benjamin is gonna win that.
So you're gonna go with Benjamin? Okay.
Yeah,
I
I
still
think
have
he.
I still have Barham, but we'll see. Uh, I think Samba gets on the podium. That's my shock
Yeah, that's
prediction.
probably
Yeah,
realistic because
yeah,
Alison dos Santos doesn't look himself. So
yeah,
unless he's playing possum or something, I think that's what it's gonna be. And of course, Jordan Scott goes up in the triple jump.
oh yeah, yeah.
He
He
tells
looked
us
good in
that
the first round, so
he tells us that he's confident he can get on the podium. So let's see. I'm
yeah.
wishing him the
Hopefully he
best with that.
does.
Yeah.
Anybody stopping Femke? I can't see it. I think it's Femke.
No.
I think it's the Lily and Anna Cockle.
Yeah, that's the top three I see. I think when I saw Femke against Delala in the semifinals, I was thinking that Delala would have pushed her a little bit more. She didn't.
Mm.
And I think Femke is seeking redemption for that bronze medal that she won in Paris
In
last year.
Tokyo, in Paris,
Yeah,
yeah.
when
Mhm.
when Anna Cockrell got the better of her around 51-8.
Mm.
So I think Femke is coming out with a chip on her shoulder, and I think She probably run 51. You know,
Mm.
but I think she wins it. I think Anna Cockrell and Delilah battle for the second and third. But I think,
Yeah.
I,
If there's any surprise, it would be probably Woodruff for me because Gianna Woodruff run
yeah.
that
But she
era
hasn't come back. But
record.
I don't know if she can come back and run a 52
Yeah.
low. That's what I
Yeah.
think. Yeah. So
I
she's
don't
probably the
think
fourth.
she. Yeah.
I
So
think
yeah.
she's probably going to run fourth.
Cool.
Yeah, but that's the women and the men. I think those two races are going to be interesting tomorrow. I think it's going to be something that
Yeah.
we'll be talking about maybe next. I don't know if we're going to be able to do a live tomorrow night because I think
Yeah. Because you gotta
we have
go.
two
Yeah.
sessions tomorrow.
Yeah. Probably
Two
not.
sessions, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll probably
They just
probably do
gotta
some,
stick with me alone. Not
yeah,
the not the
Not-
dynamic duos, dynamics like they call us now.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
I think semifinals too for 800 meters. That should be good. We lost a few people today. Prudence
yeah,
Sagadiso, she was in like I felt it for her. At one point I had to stop watching her interview because it was really emotional. She just felt the leg and it's
yeah,
tough. But and we lost Maloney. I was
yeah.
shocked at that too late.
Yeah,
I didn't. Yeah,
she was poor. I don't know what happened because she
yeah,
came in running pretty consistently. Natalia didn't look bad I mean, in
yeah,
terms of her heat. I know she's had a IT band issue
yeah,
that has been plaguing her all season long. So for those who are listening, the IT band is this band of muscles in your hip,
yeah,
and it's a bunch of nerves in there. And if it's they come under compression, then your leg gets numb and you can't really rotate the way you want to. So,
yeah.
but she's been battling that all season. But to be fair, she hasn't looked bad in the heat. So let's see what happens tomorrow in the semis and see where she gets
Yeah,
into.
yeah. No, but that's yeah. I think it's a far away. I think there's. I still have obviously Keely look good. I think Hunter Bell will be in the mix. Vera
Yeah.
will.
In fact, the
It's
three
all.
that we talked about,
Yeah,
Vera, Hunter Bell, and Keeley,
yeah. I
that's
like
those are my
the
three
the,
medalists. Huh?
the Kenyan. There's Lillian was running well this season. She could shock if anything. T Dugama looked okay, even though it wasn't a fast run. But so we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I just
All right,
lost my life.
Leighton.
Well, I've got
Yeah.
to go.
Yeah, I know you gotta go, and so we'll catch up. We'll talk about when we'll come next. Probably won't happen tomorrow, but we'll see. All right,
Maybe on
guys,
the
thanks so
weekend.
much for coming through.
Someday.
Don't forget to support the channels. I'll make sure I get the Leighton Leighton has this thing up here. Oh, that's you. That's your name, Leighton. I wanted to put up the channel. Shout out your channel there. If
Yeah,
you
it's Mr. Analyst. Of course, Mr. Dot Analyst. Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
yeah,
so you can find it on YouTube. You can subscribe. And of course, leave your comments. As I said, I find them entertaining and interesting as well.
yeah,
So, yeah, I'm going to find what's on the really slide. I got to go, guys. Have a good night.
yeah. All right,
Peace.
guys, take care. We'll see you guys soon. All right, bye bye.